Dear students, we are going to start stiffness matrix method. As you all know, this is a displacement matrix method, displacement method of structural analysis. So, I am trying to develop a stiffness matrix from the slope deflection equation. You all know that slope deflection method is also a displacement method of structural analysis. So I am going to develop the stiffness matrix for a simple problem that is a two-span continuous beam. So you can see that it is a two-span continuous beam with supports, and there is a uniformly distributed load is acting over the two-span. So I am naming my structure as ABC, and it is subjected to a uniformly distributed load of W per unit length. Now, the basic understanding required is to find out the kinematic indeterminacy or the degrees of freedom for a displacement method of structural analysis. So in this problem, you know that at A, only rotation is allowed. The displacement is restricted. B also rotation is allowed, and C also rotation is allowed. All the other translations, that is the displacements at A, B and C, are restrained. So the degrees of freedom or the kinematic indeterminacy is 3, which is actually theta A, theta B and theta C. Now you know the basic slope deflection equation, that is MAB is equal to MFAB, that is the fixed end moment at the span AB at left support A, plus 4EI theta A by L plus 2EI theta B by L. So that is MAB. Now MBA, where L is actually the span, distance between AB is L and BC is also L. Okay, now MBA is equal to MFBA plus, here actually it is 4EI by L into theta B, you know, and then 2EI theta A by L. So because it is MBA, so there will be 4EI theta B. And now MBC is equal to MFBC plus 4EI theta B by L plus 2EI theta C by L. Now we have one more thing, MCB, which is equal to MFCB plus 4EI by L theta C plus 2EI by L theta B. So this is actually the slope deflection equations. So this is actually the force displacement conditions. Now we are going to write the equilibrium equations. So we have three equilibrium equations, that is MAB is equal to 0, MBA plus MBC is equal to 0, and MCB is equal to 0. So you know that MAB is this much only, so which is actually is equal to 0. You know that MCB is equal to 0, so you can have another equation, MCB is equal to 0. So I am naming this is my first equation and this is my third equation, because this is my second equation. Second equation is actually the summation of these two is equal to 0. So if I write this two equation, I am going to write it again, that is this equation once again for your clear understanding. So it will come as MFBA plus MFBC plus 2EI by L theta A plus 8EI by L theta B, because you see theta b, here it is 4ei by theta b, here also here 4ei theta b. So 4 plus 4 is 8. Here 2 only theta a is the coefficient, theta a is coming only once, that is 2ei theta by l. 4ei by theta l by theta b plus 2ei by l theta c is equal to 0. So I am calling it as my second equation. So now you have three equations. Now I am trying to represent these three equations in matrix format. So now I am going the only, you can see that the theta a, theta b, theta c are the unknowns and the coefficients are there. So I can write the theta a, theta b, theta c as a vector, and the coefficients corresponding to theta a, theta b and theta c can be written as a matrix format, and I can take all this extra term to the right side and I can make a matrix like this format. After writing the matrix I will discuss once again. So I am writing the theta a, theta b and theta c. So the first equation is 4ei theta by l, 2ei theta by l. There is no coefficient for theta c. So the last term is 0, and corresponding to theta a it is 4ei by l. So 4ei by l. Corresponding to theta b it is 2ei by l. So 2ei by l. So you know 4ei by l, 2e by l, 0. And which is equal to, which has to be equal to, that is m of ab will be written in the right side, so it is minus m of ab, so it is minus m of ab. So this is the first equation. Similarly for the last equation also you know that here it is theta b and theta c. So theta a coefficient is 0, and corresponding to the theta c the coefficient is 4, so it is 4ei by l. Corresponding to the coefficient theta b it is 2ei by l, so 2ei by l. So it is also minus m of cb. Similarly, now we are having the second equation. Second equation you have two things. So in the right hand side there will be two terms, minus of m of ba plus m of bc, that is these two terms. And you can have three terms are there, theta a, theta b, theta c. Coefficients are 2a by l, 8a by l and 2a by l. So you have to write it as 2a by l, 8a by l and again 2ei by l. So you can see that the entire equilibrium equations can be written, all the three equations can be written as matrix format. So it is a displacement matrix. This matrix is known as the displacement matrix. So we normally represent this displacement matrix with the letter capital K, and this is the vector, we call it as displacement vector, that is represented by D, and this is also represented by P. So this P is known as the equivalent joint load vector. Equivalent joint load vector. So I have introduced three terms to you, that is K, D and P. So the K is stiffness matrix for the structure, D is the unknown displacement vector, and P is actually the equivalent joint load vector. Now if you look at the beauty of this stiffness matrix, there are some features, and there are some features. The important features are this, always this stiffness matrix is going to be a square matrix. The stiffness matrix is going to be a square matrix, and this will be having order n, where the n is actually the degrees of freedom. You see the order of this matrix is 3 because the kinematic indeterminacy or the degrees of freedom for this problem was 3. So that is a one typical property of stiffness matrix. The second property is it is a diagonally dominant matrix. You see that it is all these diagonal elements have some values, and these values are always larger than the off diagonal elements. 4ei by l, 8ei by l and 4ei by l. The other off diagonal elements are only 2ei by l. And it is a symmetric matrix. You can see that this Kij is equal to Kji. You can see that 2ei by l here, also you can see that 2ei by l here. So that is here same as here also, 2ei by l and 2ei by l. And all the diagonal elements are always positive. all the diagonal elements are always positive. So matrix obtained by stiffness analysis will be always a banded matrix. That is, only diagonal elements are there and all the other off diagonal elements are going to be zeros. So these non-zero elements will be concentrated and in a diagonal band. Okay, non-zero elements will be concentrated in the diagonal bands. So this is the off diagonal element, diagonal bands. So these are the typical property. I will list it once again. So I am just briefing it. So we have taken a stiffness matrix problem, and that we have started with a slope deflection method problem. We have taken a very simple problem, two span continuous beam, which is supported with a loaded with a uniformly distributed load. And you know this MFAB is depending upon the load. There is an equation to find out. And I have represented this in the format KD is equal to P. So now I am going to write once again. So this K, we call it as stiffness matrix for the structure. After that we have a displacement vector. So we call it as displacement or unknown displacement vector. Now we have a equivalent joint load vector. Why we call it as equivalent joint load? We have actually converted this uniformly distributed load into the joint equivalent moments at the joints. So that is why it is an equivalent joint load vector. So it is instead of applying a uniformly distributed load, it is the same effect can be generated by applying the moments at the supports in that direction. So that is why it is called as equivalent joint. That you will understand at later stage. Now Kij is called as stiffness influence coefficient. Stiffness influence coefficients. So here we have different coefficients, 4A by L, 2A by L, etc. So K11 is there, K21 is there, K31 is there, etc. So all these things are actually your stiffness influence coefficient. So it is actually denominated referred as force induced at coordinate I due to unit displacement at coordinate J. We will explain it once again in detail, this Fij, that is the stiffness coefficient, influence coefficient, Kij in detail once we start with the our physical approach. So the properties of the stiffness matrix I am just listing out. It is very important. You may get this for your examination. So the first point, it is a square matrix of order n, where n is the degrees of freedom of the structure. Now second point is, it is a diagonally dominant matrix, which means that main diagonal elements are larger than the off diagonal elements. I believe what is the main diagonal and the off diagonal elements are clear to you. You people have learned in your maths classes. Now third point, it is a symmetric matrix and all the diagonal elements are positive. All the diagonal elements are positive. Then fourth point is, stiffness matrix is a banded matrix. Stiffness matrix is a banded matrix. Yeah.